Hey again, guys. Do you know what I like to do when there's a bunch of controversy going on? Man, I just like to look at some baseball cards. So we have all kind of Hall of Fame controversy. We have the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame controversy, and then we have a little Hall of Fame, Baseball Hall of Fame controversy. So you probably all know by now, the Sports Card Dad did a video where he absolutely slammed the sports card YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame that Mike Baseball Collector started. And I find it funny that it's taken so seriously. But you know, the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame was started to recognize fellow collectors. And I can't think of a single YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame member who has sponsors, who tells you to go to their Instagram, who used to be called the personal finance something. And then when COVID hit and the boom happened, jumped on the card bandwagon. I also can't think of a single YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame member who doesn't show cards or collect cards or have cards. Unlike most new sports card channels on YouTube, don't tell you about cards, don't show you any cards. They mostly talk smack on other people, and it's a bunch of drama. Man, we're just a bunch of guys who collect cards and want to recognize each other because we enjoy watching that content. And that's all it is. I find it kind of funny they're making such a big deal about it. He's getting half of comments that are just ripping on all of us collectors, especially the vintage collectors, just ripping on them. And then half the other comments are upset about it. So I don't know why anybody would want to go out there and just alienate people in the hobby like that. I don't know, especially when you're trying to make money on this YouTube thing. I mean, that's obviously what he's trying to do. So why he would want to alienate all of us collectors is beyond me. And then we have the Hall of Fame, where one controversial member gets in. It shouldn't be that controversial, but a lot of backlash on that. I don't know. I'm kind of a bigger Hall of Fame kind of guy. You know, to me, the Hall of Fame is a museum that celebrates the history of the game and the history of the players. I honestly don't have a problem with anybody that gets in. But I always say, if you want to see the most angry people in the world, get into a debate on who should be in the hall and who shouldn't. And everybody has an opinion, and they're usually aggressive opinions. So congrats to Scott Rowland and everybody else that got into the Hall of Fame. I made a post comparing his stats to Al Oliver and Dave Parker. That was not a knock on Scott Rowland. That was that I just can't believe that, you know, he gets in before Dave Parker. That just, I think Dave Parker should be in. And there are a lot of guys that get in over him that I just can't understand it. Harold Baines is another one. And I don't have a problem with Harold Baines being in either. But I don't think there's anybody that would have taken Harold Baines over Dave Parker. Dave Parker was considered the best player in baseball for a few years at one time. And there are a lot of Hall of Famers that were never considered the best player in baseball during their time. And Scott Rowland's another one. And of course, there's always the debate, well, he plays a different position. Okay, I get that. So you're not going to hold shortstops to the same account as a right fielder. I get it. So he's a third baseman, had 9 Gold Gloves, fantastic. There are other guys, you know, that were phenomenal defensively. Keith Hernandez, for instance, had 11 Gold Gloves, more than any other first baseman, and not bad stats. But anyway, it's all good. It's all good by me. I want everybody in the Hall of Fame. I want to go. I mean, when you go to the Hall of Fame, they have exhibits for players that aren't in there, right? I think they have a Roger Maris a picture on the wall breaking the Babe's record, right? He's not in the hall. So it celebrates the game, and that's what it should be about. And so congrats to everybody that got in. And congrats to everybody that got into the YouTube Sports Card Hall of Fame too. But you know what? What we do here is we show cards, and that's what I want to do. And I want to start off with another rare card. and another set that I get to add on my pursuit of collecting at least one vintage card from every set. And that is the 1936 Shutter and Johnson, and it's a Carl Hubble. And he's showing you how to pitch there. I don't know a whole lot about these cards, but I do know that PSA has only ever graded 12 of them, so they're not real common. Cartoony kind of a set, but I get to add another set, so I'm very happy about that. And I got another Carl Hubble, and that is, I got the Wheaties. I've shown you guys a bunch of my Wheaties. I just love these. They're just amazing images. And I'm gonna have to do another video. I've added a few, so I think I want to do a video of just show all of them again. And I got this fantastic 1967 Philadelphia Johnny Unitas. This set is tough to find centered, and this is a beautiful card. I already had this card, but I got another one. I'm a bit of a centering junkie on these 58 tops, and I got another Al-K line here. Really nicely centered. Man, he does not get enough baseball or hobby love for how good he was. His cards are undervalued, in my opinion. And I was watching an old Monday Night Football game from the early 70s, and I saw this guy returning kicks, and I had never heard of him, and he looked fantastic. So I picked up a few cards. This is one I got so far. Ed Podolak. Really nice card. 78 tops. And I got another Japanese Sadaharu O 1976 Calbee. And I had gotten a Topps Redemption, and when I went to scratch off to get my number to go and redeem it, the whole thing just tore off. It was like defective or something. And so I wrote out my name and had to physically mail it, and it sat around here for probably a few months before I finally got to send it in. And then I sent it in, and man, it had to be 6 to 8 months ago. And finally, this card showed up out of the blue, and it's a Eloy Jimenez autograph card. And what I have, 62, Dick Night Train Lane. One of the greatest cornerbacks ever. 4th on the all-time interception list. And the top safety on that list, if you exclude Rod Woodson, who played half his career as a corner. Yeah. I got a 1972 Iron Off of Bob Greasy. Really good quarterback in the 70s. And I got another 1971 Milk Dud, Reggie Smith. And he was a really good ball player when I watched him with the Dodgers. Got a 1963 Bazooka, Wee Willie Keeler. And I just love this great set. They look older than they are. And got a couple of 76 Fred Coxes. Didn't realize I didn't have him. You know, in the old days of football, before the Mel Blount rule, kickers were a thing. If you notice, all the vintage football cards have kickers in them. They were usually the top point scorers, and they were a very important part of the game, both kickers and punters. And of course, he set a record. He had scored in 151 straight games. Starting in 1963, his rookie season. And for some of you Mickey Mantle collectors, you know, you may not know this exists. You may, but some of you may not know that these exist, and I guarantee you're going to be like on eBay going and looking for them when I show you. But there was a photographer and they made postcards to give away at the stadium, J.D. McCarthy. And this is a Mickey Mantle postcard. Now, they made these over many, many years, so as far as I know, it's impossible to specifically date them. But each year they would make them and I guess sell them at the stadium. I believe they started in the 50s and went through the 60s. It is a great postcard of the Mick. And when I was little, I had a neighbor kid, and I don't know, many younger people won't know that before Monday Night Football, there was Monday Night Baseball, and it started, I believe, in '66 on the NBC network, and then in the '70s switched over to ABC. And I think it was more popular with the ABC, especially after Monday Night Football became popular. And my neighbor, he had a binder for school, and I remembered it. And man, I used to want that binder, and they weren't easy to find. I never did find one. So I picked one up. And this is the ABC Monday Night binder, I think from around 79-ish. Nice binder to put some cards in too. And they also had this baseball, and I don't know how this was distributed. If anybody knows, let me know. But it says Babe Ruth League Ball. And it was sponsored by Frigidaire. My grandmother called a refrigerator a Frigidaire till the day she died. You know, it's one of those things like instead of tissue, you call it a Kleenex, or instead of a copy, you call it a Xerox. In the old days, they called a refrigerator a Frigidaire because I guess it was the first one. And it's a Wilson ball, and then it has a ABC Monday Night Baseball. And I made some videos of my man, Lynn Swann, and the amazing catches he used to make. He was my favorite football player growing up. And I got this Sports Illustrated for Kids card. But I got this old, this 1980 complete handbook of pro football with Lynn Swann on the cover making a nice catch. And I got a hold of an original Sports Illustrated after that Super Bowl and the amazing catch he made in Super Bowl 10. And no label. These are tough to find without the label. I'll tell you what, I wasn't sure of the condition when I bought it. And when it showed up, I couldn't believe it's just pristine. It's perfect. So really excited to get that. And I'll show you my rare Johnny Unitas that I showed recently, but I got to show it again. PSA has only graded like 4 of these. Johnny Pro. So you got Johnny Unitas on the Johnny Pro card. Hey, that's what I have for you. Thanks for watching.